Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. We're back with another luxury watch unboxing. And today we've got a good one from Grand Seiko. We have the Evolution 9 collection Spring Drive Diver, the SLGA023 in high-intensity titanium. Now, I'm going to mention that this model is a bit of an anomaly since there are two different styles of boxes included. The one you see here is very similar to the 60th anniversary SLGA001 commemorative kit. There's also a version of this boxed set that includes a more traditional cube-like box. So we have here the more deluxe of the two. Keep in mind the watch may be delivered in either one. So before we get any closer to the watch, let's take a look at the outside. Two different colors. You can see that there's an attractive graining, a little bit like leather on the glossy cardboard. And if you're wondering what the internal presentation is made of, we have a little bit of a preview on the back. The box will include wood, leather cloth, which is basically a leatherette, aluminum, paper, and polyurethane. The cushion is, again, that leather cloth and polyester. The box is made in Japan, which seems fitting and upscale. Taking a quick look now. From outer box, we move to inner box. You can see that this is a long and narrow boxed set. Internally, it's, as we usually find with luxury watches, a box in a box. We're going to take a look at what you get because it is maybe surprisingly spare. There's not a whole lot in the box itself. There are some foam cushions. Optionally, it can be packaged with a synthetic strap made of silicone. And then we have a little cardstock folio that features a virtual operator's manual. So saving some trees, you scan the QR and you will be given all of the information necessary to use and care for your SLGA023. Now we have a little warranty card right here on the back, information about the original date of sale as well as the vendor. And then inside we have a agreeably friendly GS9 Club invitation. Once again, the QR code gets you up and running. Special events, gifts, and articles will be accessible to qualified members. So you've got this little card that invites you to join the fun. And then finally here we have a rather limited catalog of warranty terms. And you can see right here that Grand Seiko's warranty is now 5 years. But there's not a whole lot here. I'm actually kind of happy that they put their money into the watch itself. This is premium. It's visually and artistically coherent, but it is not the kind of thing that makes you wonder why so much money was spent on packaging. The real star here, of course, is the watch. Taking a quick look, the external box is similar in terms of proportions to the external box. Now we have wonderful brushed aluminum and leatherette externally, which is a tactile pleasure. You can even see how the graining of the box and the leatherette very similar right there. Nothing to see on the underside. The box is made in Japan, as promised. Taking a quick look inside now, we have a wonderful soft padded cloth all over. We have the Grand Seiko Lion. We have two little compartments for storing accessories, such as a hang tag that gives you information about the watch. That's its reference, identifying information, and caliber. You can see originally retailed for $11,600. Then over here, we have a Grand Seiko microfiber polishing cloth. The watch comes on a little bit of a pillow, which is the same material as the interior lining of the box. And again, the money was spent on the hardware, and I'm happy about that. Taking a quick look at the watch. This is the Ushio dial. So the idea here being Ushio, or tidal pattern, a wonderful blue wave motif. And I have to say that the camera doesn't capture it to advantage. When you see it in person, it has almost a chatoyancy or a cat's eye quality to it. It seems three-dimensional, it seems dynamic, almost like there's an upper layer printed on a lower layer, a holographic-like effect. The watch features LumaBrite, which we will see now. The watch is quite well loomed as a diver, and you can see there's no shortage of luminescence on the dial, including all three hands. The watch features Grand Seiko's signature blue. It now has a ceramic bezel inlay. Previously on Grand Seiko divers, these were often ADLC. They are now ceramic. A wonderful 120 click bezel action with a sharply cut knurling that makes it easy to grip, and I can envision it being easy even if your hands were wet, sweaty, or gloved. 0 to 60-minute count-up timer. You can see that the hands include satination, and the dial with a rich, deep, and varied texture looking like the surface of the incoming tide. We have a power reserve indicator. This is now a 9R, despite the card that came with the watch saying, or the hang tag saying 9RA2, you can see clearly it's a 9RA5. This is the second generation automatic spring drive with 2 barrels, now with 5 days of power reserve and accurate to 10 seconds a month rather than 15. You have the completely smooth glide of spring drive, quartz timing, and yet no batteries, no capacitors, and no motors. It is entirely mechanically driven by the spring. There is a hacking seconds function. There is a quick set date that allows you to rapidly cycle the date. The pieces of the dial are finished by hand and caulked manually. And then this is the Zaratsu tin plate hand polishing, for which Grand Seiko cases are justly known. It is a craft art manually applied that takes 3 years to fully master. The clasp is a robust piece. You can see a clamshell and a trigger lock. And then you have the ability, even when it is on the wrist, to fine-tune the fit using this rather long incremental adjustable sizing mechanism. And again, with the clamshell and a trigger system, you can really lock it right in place and adjust even when the clasp is completely closed and locked. The watch includes water resistance of 200 meters, and the spring drive system is a Grand Seiko and Seiko Universe exclusive, which is why the seconds hand truly does glide smoothly. It is not a stop-start, tick or tock. It is completely seamless and unidirectional. On the wrist, my wrist is 16 centimeters circumference. The watch wears pretty well. It's not as thick as you might think. It is thick, but at 14.1 millimeters, you can see with a slightly sloped bezel, it would fit underneath a jacket cuff. And I could envision this wearing well on a wrist my size or larger, so no issues there. In titanium, it's very light. It is 43.8 millimeters in diameter, 23 millimeter spacing between the lugs. If we're just measuring the case, then it is going to be 51.5 millimeters lug to lug, but if we include the solid end links of the bracelet, then it is a beefier 55.1 millimeters. You got a lot going on here. A special movement, a unique watch, a hand-finished case, a handmade dial, and a movement, though quartz timed, that is entirely mechanically driven. Watchmaker built, watchmaker serviced, and watchmaker tuned, designed to last not just the life of the owner, but the multi-generational life of the watch. There's a lot to love here. On the back, you can see no display case back, but a lovely vintage Grand Seiko lion rampant on a chiseled backdrop. And this is a titanium that's roughly equivalent to what the Swiss would call grade 5 titanium. So it's light, but it's also very scratch resistant. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916 Company for purchase and pricing details.